With up to 48 gigabit Ethernet ports available, Dratex G2500 and P2500 Vigor switches are high density switches, great for larger installations and where rack shelf space is limited. Hi everyone, Darren from Dratec Australia and New Zealand. Both of these new switches feature a massive 44 standard gigabit Ethernet ports, 4 combo SFP or gigabit Ethernet ports, and 2 dedicated SFP ports, all in a 1U case. Those 4 combo ports means that the first 4 SFP slots are shared with the last 4 Ethernet ports, which allows you to choose one or the other based on your needs. SFP slots can be used for fibre transceivers for backbone cabling or DAC cables to uplink to other switches. DAC or direct attached copper cables are a cost-effective and simpler solution over shorter distances compared to optic fibre cables once the fibre transceiver modules at both ends are factored in. DAC cables are a shielded copper cable with SFP connectors at both ends. Dratec have the DAC CX10 cable, which is available in either 1 metre or 3 metre lengths, and they support both 1 gigabit and 10 gigabit Ethernet data rates. They simply plug into one of the SFP slots to allow them to be uplinked to other switches quickly and easily, making them a great solution for server rooms and data centres. Over here we have reset buttons, and around the back we have console ports. And they have built-in power supplies which take a standard IEC cable, which is included. On the sides we have cooling vents. Note that the P2500 is quite a bit deeper and a bit heavier. It comes in at around 6.75 kilograms compared to 5 kilograms for the G2500. And on the other side we have 2 cooling fans on the P2500, while the G2500 is fanless. They're rack mountable in a standard 19-inch rack, and rack mount brackets are included. Also included is a quick start guide, a console cable and a power cord. Both feature layer 2 management and are easily configurable with a web user interface. I'll include a link below to a test drive of the user interface so you can check that out in more detail. If you prefer things old school, they also feature a command line interface with support for both Telnet and SSH. Where they differ is the P2500 features PoE, Power over Ethernet. PoE is great for powering devices like wireless access points, IP cameras and IP phones, which connect to the network using Ethernet cables. A PoE switch will not only connect these devices to the local area network, but they can also send the power they need to operate down the same Ethernet cable to save having to install power points for them. The P2500 allows for up to 30 watts per port, with a total power budget of 405 watts. One of the PoE management features which a traditional power supply can't do is PoE device check, sometimes called ping watchdog, which can power cycle any connected PoE device if it stops responding. You'll find this setting down under Diagnostics Device Check. Here we just select the port we want to configure, enable it and enter the device's IP address. Tell it how often to ping and how many times it should retry before it takes any action, and the actions can be to power cycle it, forcing whatever PoE device connected to that port to reboot, or alternatively it can just shut it down or do nothing if you just want to monitor what's going on. We'll also need to enable email alerts if we want those anytime this event occurs. On the dashboard we can see at a glance how much power is being used and what it's been doing over the last few hours. Down under PoE settings in properties we can enable or disable PoE power to individual ports, and we can give the power to each port different levels of priority, and also set the port to either 802.3 AT or 802.3 AF power depending on what the device at the other end requires. In status we get more detail about the PoE status than we could see on the dashboard, and we can also manually power cycle individual ports to force devices to reboot here. In schedule we can set times for individual ports to shut devices down at specific times on specific days, which is handy for applications like automatically turning off your free public Wi-Fi outside office hours and so on. Inside they have support for up to 256 VLANs and up to 8 queues of QoS. ONVIF is supported. ONVIF stands for Open Network Video Interface Forum, which allows the viewing of IP cameras within the switch's GUI. To set that up and see it in action, go to ONVIF Surveillance. Discovery will search for supported cameras. Topology will show us which ports are being used by cameras and any connection or PoE problems. Under Video is where we can view real-time camera footage. I don't have a camera plugged in here, but this is an idea of what it would look like if I did. And under Maintenance we can view information like the camera's IP address, MAC address and firmware version, and we can do a couple of things like reboot the camera or reset it back to its factory defaults. Security features include access control, storm control, DOS defense, 802.1x port access control, IP source guard, IP conflict prevention. Just a note on IP conflict prevention, these days with so many IoT, also known as Internet of Things devices and IP cameras and so on to consider, IP conflicts may pop up more frequently than we used to see in the past. This feature both automatically shuts off the second port with a conflicting IP address so the rest of the network can continue operating as normal, and also send an email alert to the system administrator so they can check that out and take whatever steps may be necessary to fix it. If we go back to the GUI and down to Security, IP conflict prevention, any conflicts will be displayed in the graphic display here, as well as tabled down the bottom. To set it up, there's a quick start wizard, and you can also set up the email alerts down in the Mail Alert settings section. Under alert types, just select IP conflict, as well as anything else you'd like alerts for, or even everything if you like. Other features include loop protection, dynamic ARP inspection and DHCP snooping, as well as link aggregation, traffic load balancing and multicast. Users can be authenticated using a local database, Radius or TAC-ACS+. It has SNMP support and a syslog. Both models are supported by Draytec Central Switch Management, SWM, which allows them to be managed from the console of most business-class Draytec routers. The latest firmware is also supported by the latest Vigor Connect management software, and they can be managed and maintained remotely with the Vigor ACS2 central management system. For a full list of features, I'll include links to the product pages for both switches in the description below. So that is the Draytec 2500 series Vigor switches. They come with a 2-year back-to-base warranty and are available now from Draytec resellers. For more information about all Draytec products, please check out our website at www.draytec.com.au. If you have any questions, please comment below, or you can send us an email to sales@draytec.com.au or give us a call on 02 9838 8899. Once again, I'll include links below to the product pages, as well as a test drive of the GUI so you can browse that in more detail. Please like and subscribe below and give the bell a click too if you'd like a notification of new videos as they go up. Thanks and bye for now.